Welcome back to Sunday Evening Devotions. The text I'd like to share with you is taken from Isaiah 55, the first two verses. We read, "Come, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and he who has no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen diligently to me and eat what is good, and delight yourselves in rich food." Now, the context of this is God's promise to bring his people back to the promised land after their captivity in Babylon. The Lord has introduced the suffering servant that we find in Isaiah 53, and God has promised that he will surely keep his covenant promises to his people. And in that, he promises this spiritual enlivening. But he calls them to put their faith in him, to come and to be fed by him from his word and by his graces. But this text also speaks to us. In the Hebrew, it begins with an exclamation. Some translate it as ho. It gets our attention, or hello. Here in the ESV, we just find the word come, but we should read that with an exclamation point. Come, everyone who thirsts. Well, who is it that should come? Well, those who are thirsty. Those who are thirsty for spiritual things, who have realized that they are dry, that they are living in an arid land because they have not been able to drink of the well of salvation. This speaks forward to what Jesus would say to the woman at the well when he, addressing her, says that if she knew who she was talking to, she would ask of him, and he would give her living water. He would give her the water that springs up into eternal life. This is the living water. This is the water that assuages our greatest thirst, our greatest need. This passage also speaks to those who have no money. These are the poor. Those who Jesus would say in the Sermon on the Mount are the poor in spirit. They don't have what it takes to purchase for themselves that which they need. Oh, they have of the world's goods, but they don't have that which they really need of God. They don't have any righteousness of their own. They need God's imputed righteousness or the gift of his righteousness. They cannot earn God's favor. No, he says, the poor, come, buy and eat without price. Obviously, this text then speaks of God's free offer of his free grace. Come buy without money and without price. It is not that our salvation doesn't cost anything, but it doesn't cost us anything other than our sin. Oh, it cost Jesus his blood. It cost God his Son. But it doesn't cost us of anything that we could offer because we cannot pay the price. But God offers it to us anyway. This is God's great grace. This is a passage that speaks to us of his grace. And then he asks the question to you, why do you spend your money for that which is not bread? How often do we spend what we have? We spend our lives, we spend our money, we spend our labor for that which doesn't really feed us. As he said here, your labor for which does not satisfy. Are we really satisfied with the things of this life? Oh, we gather toys, we enjoy ourselves, we find pleasures, but they're fleeting. And in the end, we can't take the toys with us. Why are we living? What are we here for? God says, listen diligently to me and eat what is good. He provides that which is wholesome, which is what we need. And he says, delight yourselves in rich food, that which is of high quality. Well, what is this food? And what is that which is good that we need to eat? Well, it speaks certainly of finding our souls to be satisfied. They're not satisfied in this life in the end. In the end, all our money, all of our accumulations will be taken away from us. What will you have? God offers us his Son, and he offers us himself, the most important thing. He speaks to our hearts and to our souls. We're told that there is, as it were, an empty spot in us that only God can fill because we're made to be in a relationship with him. And this is what God offers. This is the good news. It is not earned. It is not procured by us by spending ourselves, as it were, or all that we have. No, it is a free offer of God's free grace to any and to all who would come to him. That is good news. Good night.